My name is Shilpa Gupta. I am manager at e-learning support services. Some of you might have already worked with me for your Canvas courses. For those who don't know me yet, by e-learning service, it means a lot of things, but that also includes Canvas. So if you have any Canvas questions or you are reaching out to the Canvas team, that's probably either me or Zach. So just to give you a little bit of intro. And if you need to walk into our office, we are located on the third floor of the library, room 321. Today in this session, we will be talking about Kaltura and how to use Kaltura within your Canvas courses. I will share my screen, show you how it works, and in between, I will take pauses between each sections that I have plans to discuss, and we can take questions. You can also send the questions in the chat. And with that, let me share my screen, because I have two monitors. So yeah, just want to make sure. Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right. So to begin with, Kaltura within Canvas is identified as My Media. It still stands for Kaltura, no difference, but it's just called My Media within your Canvas courses. So the first thing is to locate My Media from the course navigation menu. Now, by default, it should already be in your navigation menu options. If not, then you can simply go to Settings, Navigation. So if it's not in the nav menu, chances are it will be in the lower section of this area. All you need to do is go to the three dots and enable it, and it will jump up on the top menu bar like it is right now in my sandbox course. And make sure you save the change, because that's important. Once you do that, like it's appearing on my nav menu, it'll also appear in yours. And then we go to my media. And to begin with, I'll just give you an overview of what are the different things that you will find here, and then we will proceed on how it actually works. So on the top, you have Search My Media. Now, it might not be needed at this point for many of you who haven't used it before, but if you have a lot of videos in your Kaltura account, this can be really handy. So if you know a couple of keywords, say, for example, I will search with Canvas, and everything that has Canvas in the title will pop up. And then you have a couple more filters that you can add for your search. You can filter by the kind of video that you are trying to search. It can be videos, quizzes, simply audio, or images. You can search with publish options. Who was the owner? Now, this means that if you are the owner, you actually recorded the video. However, sometimes it happens that somebody else has recorded the video, but also added you as the co-owner. In that case, that's the reason you have these other options. And then if you know the duration of the videos, you can also search by these options. Besides that, you have a sort by option. Very simple. You have seen it on other platforms as well. You can sort by different of these criterias, alphabetical order, or ascending, descending based on when it was created. And then you have the view option. I personally love the detailed view because I can see the thumbnail, I can see the title of the video, a little bit of a description, whatever was added, the date, and then I have all these options right here. So for me personally, it's very handy, but you have two other views. One is the collapsed view, where it just gives you the titles. And then you have this other view where you get some more details. But I personally love the thumbnail option, which is why I choose this, but you feel free to use the other options as well. Then there's the action button. And if you click on this little drop down right here, you have the captioning options here, publish, and the delete option. Now, this delete option works best if you are trying to delete something in bulk, so multiple videos basically. So you can choose multiple videos, come here And if you select delete, it will delete multiple videos at a time. However, if you want to delete just one video, you have the delete option right beside the video itself as well. Now, this is the add new option. I will come to this at the after few seconds, because this is where all the functions happen. So this will be the main point of discussion for today's session. But before that, a couple more options that's available and a couple of things that you need to know. So every video comes with a tag of whether it's private or published. By default, it's always private because, of course, you have recorded it, so it's your technically property. If you choose to publish it for your section, that's when the tag changes into published. Now, to publish anything, you can go to Actions and Publish. Again, it applies to multiple videos or just one, depends on how you are trying to publish. Basically, you can select the video, go to Action, go to Publish. As I said, the default option is private, but you can toggle to publish. And then it asks you to choose in which section you are trying to publish. For me, these are mostly non-term courses, mainly orientation kind of courses, but for you, it will be the courses that either you have taught in the past or you will be teaching. So you will see your fall courses in this area. All you need to do is simply select which section you're trying to publish this course. Let me take my sandbox, the one that I am right now in. So I will choose this, click Save. And on top, you will see that media successfully published. If you refresh this page, you will also see the tag has changed to published now. And it appears under Media Gallery. If you go to Media Gallery, you will just see the video that I just published. So the main difference between Media Gallery and My Media is that My Media is your own individual Kaltura account. Nobody else has access to it. You can access My Media from any course. It will still show you the list of every video. So this is not course specific, but this is your overall Kaltura account. Media Gallery, on the other hand, is the shared repository between you and your students. This is course specific. So in Media Gallery, you will only see the videos that you chose to share for that particular course and not every course. So Media Gallery's view can be different from course to course. Media Gallery is the place where students can come and view the videos that you have shared. So that's the biggest difference. Keep in mind, the My Media view is exclusive to you. What students will see on their end will be their My Media account, their Kaltura account. So the view will be absolutely different. They don't have access to your Kaltura or your My Media account. Media Gallery, on the other hand, is where students can see everything that you have shared. Now, there are other ways of sharing Kaltura videos. We will come to that later. All right, going back to My Media again. So now that you have an idea of how this area looks like and the different functionalities, let's get a little bit deeper into when you click a video title, what are the kind of options that you get? Of course, on the top, you see the video in itself. And then if you scroll down, you see a couple of different options here. The first thing first is the details. You have a little bit of details here. This is the detail I added for this video. And then you have the actual video link. In the attachment area, you will see a couple of different attachments. Now, these are the text files. You can download them from here. And then if you go to share, this is very important. Probably this is something you will need most of the time, is the embed code. You can use this to embed in any other Canvas page or assignment that you're trying to embed a Kaltura video. Again, we will come to the sharing option a little later in this session where we will discuss this in further details. But just for you to know, this is where you will find your embed code. You can select the start and the end point. You can select the player size, meaning how big or small the video will look like when you embed. So all of these options are available here. This also has an action option with slightly more options available to you. You can go to edit, publish option, which we discussed is also available here. Analytics will give you an idea of who has seen how much and all of that details. There's the captioning option. Launch editor is there are some very basic level of editing option available. Again, I will come to that as well in this session, but this is where you will launch the editor and of course, finally, the delete option. If you go to edit, okay, if you go to edit, this is where you can add more details for the video. If you want to tell a little bit about the video, you can do that here. You can add some tags here. Publish option is pretty much the same as we discussed. Then you have collaboration option. This is where you can add associate owners, people with whom you want to share the owning rights of the videos. Thumbnails, you can choose a different thumbnail for the video from here. Download option, it gives you some options to download. You can choose the size. Then there's captions. Again, this is where you can either upload caption file if you already have. For some files, we do have caption files already separately available. You can upload it here. Or if you have auto-generated captions, you can also download it from here. You will probably not need the other options that much, but if you do, you can also use the replace media option where you can choose a different file to upload under the same file name. But from my experience, I haven't seen much usage of these features. Let me go back to my media. So that was an overview of how my media looks and what are the different functionalities available. I will stop for a moment to see if you have any questions at this point. All right, I'll move on. So now comes the most important part. How will you upload a video or how will you create a video using Kaltura? For doing that, your one-stop area is the Add New button. If you click on this little drop down, you will see there are a couple of different options here. The first one is pretty basic. It's the media upload option, meaning if you already have a media with you available on your computer and you're just trying to upload it under your Kaltura account, you can simply come to media upload, choose the file from your computer, and then simply save it. You still get options of renaming it, editing a little bit if you need to. So all those things still remain the same. All this is asking for you to upload the media from your computer. The second option is Express Capture. Now, this is like a click and film kind of an option, meaning this opens in your browser. This is not a separate app or anything. It's a very, very simple, no fuss kind of an option if you are trying to record something really quick. Nothing like too complex, nothing like you have audio, screen share, your own video, nothing like that. Simple, record yourself, click the record button, record yourself, and that's it. So very simple, fuss-free video option is Express Capture. Now, you might need this if you're trying to record something real quick, something that you need to share with your class in a very short span of time, something like that. It opens, as I said, in the browser. So if you click on it, it opens right in the browser itself. Give me one moment. Oh, probably since I have the Zoom going on, so probably that's not starting, but yeah, otherwise it should start in your browser itself, so you don't need to go anywhere. The Kaltura capture is the one where the most complex form of recording happens. It has all the functionalities. When you click on Kaltura capture, let me see if it opens my app. Hopefully it does. I had some issues where there was a problem launching it when the Zoom is on. Can you see the little app on my screen? Okay. So when you click on Kaltura Capture, the first time it will ask you to download if you don't have it downloaded yet. It has two options, Mac and Windows. Obviously, if you have a window, you use this option. If Mac, you use this option. Once you have downloaded it in your computer physical space, this is how it looks like after you launch Kaltura Capture for the very first time. It has the large recording button. Then you have the screen recording option. Now from this, you can choose what monitor you're using. It has two options because, as I mentioned, I have two monitors right now. You might have one. That's not a problem at all. You can select that. Then let's say I'm selecting this. So it just selected my bigger monitor. You can select the space that you're trying to capture. It has some of the default options. If you don't like it, you can increase or decrease the area that you're trying to record. Once you know that this is the space you are trying to record, simply confirm it. And that's it. Now it will be recording exactly the space that you have selected. Then comes the camera. Now, I'm not going to turn this on because it's going to mess with our Zoom session. But right now, it's turned off. That's not default. Probably it will be turned on. But yeah, simply clicking on it will also turn the camera on, meaning you can see yourself in the video. It will record you talking on the screen. You can also turn on audio, of course. Again, if you are speaking, this is an option which will record your audio as well. Now, in some cases, it's very complex. It might be a little bit complex where you are recording yourself, you have audio, you are also recording your screen. That's the time when all three your options will be turned on. However, if you are just trying to record your screen, maybe with a little bit of audio, make sure your camera is turned off. If you're trying to record just yourself and your audio, make sure your screen is turned off. So just make sure whichever options you don't need to turn them off. It might be slightly confusing on the very beginning because you have so many options. But yeah, if you are a little bit of mindful, you will get the exact output the way you want to get it. Once you have recorded everything, at the very end, it will show that right here in this corner, it will show that the recording has started. You will see a bar. It will also show you how much time and all of that. It will have this option to start, stop, and pause your recording in between. Click that when you are ready. Once you're done, it will show you a progress bar of uploading the video. Once it has been uploaded, you can simply come to your My Media. And this is where you will see your video has been loaded. It might take some time for processing, depending on how long your video is, but you can simply close it down. There is no problem. You don't have to keep the computer on while this is happening. It will happen on its own. You can work on other things, go to any other course that you're teaching. That's totally fine. Nothing gets hampered in that process. Once you're done, your video has been processed, it's ready for upload, you will see it loaded here. Now from here, as we just discussed before, you can go to edit, change the title, add description, do all of that. And then once it's absolutely ready, you can come to action, click on publish, and publish for your section that you are going to teach. Any questions so far? Okay, I will also check the chat real quick. Give me one moment. What is a short period of time for express capture? Well, it doesn't give you Thank you, Erin. Sorry, sorry for the pause. It doesn't give you a time. It doesn't restrict you on a time. But the reason I said short period of time, sometimes I have seen instructors need something as little as like 2 minutes video to record. They don't want all the fuss of the Kaltura capture where the app opens up, you have to do so many things. That's where the Express comes really handy because you really don't have to do anything. Simply click record, done. That's it. That's why there is no period restriction. But when I say short period, it means that something on grab and go kind of a thing. Hope that answers your question, Bruce. All right, moving forward. So now that we have seen a couple of the two different recording options, let's move to the last option, which is the video quiz. Now, some of you might have already learned about Play Pause It, the other video and audio recording option that we have at AU. Play Pause It's video quiz option has some more features, I would say, than the Kaltura video quiz option, but still it has pretty much a lot of things that you might find helpful. So the video quiz is basically a kind of a quizzing option where you can add questions within your video. So suppose let's work with this one, the Canvas team introduction that I did some weeks back for the new faculty orientation. Let me use this to add some quizzes. I will click on video quiz. Then it asks me on which video I want to add my quizzes. As I said, I will select this one. It opens up in an editor view option. You will see this in the when you are trying to edit a Kaltura video as well. So it's going to be a pretty common view for you. Once it opens in the editor window, you have a lot of different options to work with. You can go to the details, click on this arrow, change the name. By default, it takes the original name of the video and then it adds quiz to it, but you can totally change it. Then you can or cannot add a welcome message, which will appear on the beginning of the quiz. If you select choose not to show it, simply deselect the option. If you choose it, you can customize that message. It doesn't have to be something like this. It can also be some instructions that you are trying to give out to your students, say how many quizzes or whether they have to take something within a certain time. All of that you can add here as well. Once you have done that, these are all the options related to the show welcome message option. You can or cannot choose them, totally up to you. Then comes the score, and you can choose certain things from here. You can tell your students that they are allowed to take multiple attempts by selecting this and selecting how many multiple attempts you're trying to give them. I will turn it off for now. You can or cannot show them the scores. By default, they will see the score, but if you want to not show them, that's totally up to you. If you plan to show them the score, you can also show them the answers. Again, totally your choice. But these are some of the options that's available within the quiz itself. And then there are some experience-related options as well. You can allow them to skip or not. You can also select that they cannot seek the fast forwarding option on a video. Sometimes for a video quiz, that can be necessary because if they forward the video, they might miss some information which can help them answer the next quiz or something. So you can select these options as well. Once you have done that, now you can see the preview in this window and the timeline in here. You can play and listen to the video one more time to see where you want to put the quizzes. But for now, for this session, I'll just randomly pick some places so that I can show you how to insert quizzes. Let's say I want to insert my first question here at this point. All I did was simply click on the timeline, and that's it. It just gives you that marker of putting the question in that place of the timeline. So I'm selecting this. Now that the bar is on this place on the timeline, I will simply go to add a question. Now, please remember that there is not too many options. So there's just 4 options, and we have to, it's kind of restricted that way. I will say select open-ended question. And based on the content of this video, I will just customize some questions right now. Where is the Canvas office located? And that's it. I will save this. So now you see it adds a little icon here, which will be also there on the final video quiz, which indicates that this is the place where you have a question. Now let me go ahead a little bit more, and then maybe I can add another question here. I can do of true or false. Does Canvas team also help with username password reset? I will say false. So once I click on this, this becomes my right answer. And if people choose, obviously, the other one, they get a deduction on the points. Now that I have that, I will add this as well. So you see, I have 2 questions now, and I can move forward, add one more, maybe, and I can do multiple choice. I can say, what are the different video recording options within AU Canvas? I can add play, pause it, Kaltura. That's my right option. And then I can add something like looming, which is not my correct option. That's why it's not selected. And then save it. By the way, looming was just a random name. I don't know why I chose that. But yeah, so now I have 3 questions. I can simply select on none. And I can go to media page. It's basically going back. All right, so now I have the original video, and then I have the quiz with this little icon right here, which also indicates that this is a quiz. So if you noticed, it did not hamper the original video. It's still there. You can use it in its original form. And then you have the quiz option, which it's in itself is a quiz, and that's separate from the original video. Any questions so far? All right, okay. So yeah, these are the 4 different options of uploading visual content in Kaltura. You can choose any of them based on how you are trying to use it. And as I'm talking, I see something popping up in chat. Of course, my pleasure. So now that the recording is done, the next most important thing is how we are going to utilize it or share it with our students. There are multiple different ways of sharing Kaltura videos. The first one we discussed very briefly in the beginning, which is sharing it in Media Gallery. I find it very handy, to be very honest. Even as a student, I used to find Media Gallery very helpful. Why? Because you find all the videos here. Now, you might not have an option where you want to have all the videos in one place like this. You would, maybe your need is you want to add videos as part of a specific module or part of a specific page, some content that you are trying to teach. In that case, we can have multiple different options. Let me take you to the pages option first, and then we can discuss assignments as well. So what does a page do? Page is basically like a wiki page. It can be a shareable page. You can edit the page multiple times. You can share it even with your students where they can also have the edit rights. But page is basically something like where you are putting content and sharing with your students. Now, let's say I have a page. Actually, instead of creating a new page, let me go to a previous page so that I have some content in it. That's easier. Okay, let me take this. This is on academic integrity. I have some content in this already. So now I have some content already in this. I want to integrate a video that I have related to this content. For that, I will love to embed the video instead of simply adding the link to it, because the link kind of looks a little bit clunky. It does its job, I agree. You can click on the link and see the video. But as a whole, as a setup, it looks a little bit clunky. And also it doesn't give that feel of that integrated video in a page sort of a look. For that, I would love to embed my video. There are 3 options of embedding a video in a page, or for that matter, in an assignment, because you will see this rich content editor box pretty much everywhere in pages, assignments, in discussions, multiple pages. Wherever you see this rich text editor box, you will get the same functionalities everywhere. So the way I will embed the video in this page applies also to assignments, also to discussions. All of them will be same wherever this box is there. So as I said, there are 3 ways of embedding videos. The first one is the Kaltura icon itself. It's this beautiful multicolored wheel. If you click on that, it opens up basically your My Media account. You can see everything that you have in your My Media. Now, this is the quiz that we just created. Let's not use that, but maybe I can use, I don't have anything related to academic integrity, but I'll just pick this one. I will embed this, but before embedding, I can also see some of the embed settings. If you click on that setting wheel, you can see the preview. Here also, you can select from which point you want to start the video. You can choose which player. I would say don't bother with this. Just go with whatever is the default player. You don't have to bother about which are the different players that we have. The default one pretty much has everything that you need to share in a class. This is important because it selects the size of the player. I have probably the biggest one, but if you want just a small embed size, you can select between these 2. For now, I'll just keep the biggest one. Thumbnail embed, well, totally up to you. It gives you an option to select the thumbnail and which thumbnail you are trying to embed. And then this is my default settings that I have selected. And if you don't change embed settings for every embed, this will be the setting going forward for all your embed options. However, if you click on the wheel, the settings wheel, you can change these embed options for every time. Now that I am confirmed with everything, all my settings, I'll simply click on embed. Takes a little time, and here you go. This video is now embedded with my content. Now, let me quickly save this as well so that I can show you how the page finally looks like. Here you go. So you have the content and you have the video embedded in it. It looks much nicer, way more easy to access, not a link where they need to click and it might open in a new window, all those kind of things. So it looks very edgy that way. Now I'll go back to edit because I told you there are 2 other options of embedding. I will delete this and show you the other options. The second option is this little plug icon, which basically is a way of choosing other apps. But from here, you can choose Kaltura as well and embed your videos from here as well. So right now, my embed Kaltura media is already there because I use it so often. But for you, it'll be just view all option. If you click on view all, you can see multiple different apps that you can integrate. But from here, for now, I will just select embed Kaltura media. The rest of the drill is pretty much the same. It opens in the same window. You can embed it, and that's it. And finally, you have this little cloud option. This is where you can copy and paste the embed code that we discussed towards the beginning of the session. I will take you back there, but just keep it in your thoughts that the cloud option actually gives you a copy paste of embed options. Now, you might ask, why do we need so many options? Sometimes in the past, this is from my experience, I can say that sometimes one of these integrations did not work. We had to work with the Kaltura team to fix it. However, this one was working because all you need to do is copy the embed code and paste it here. So this was working. So we were still able to function while they were fixing the other two integrations. All you need to do is, again, paste it and submit it. It does the same job, integrates the video in the exact same way that you just saw, but it's basically 3 different options of doing it. And I will pause here because I saw something in the chat. Hi, it did not work the way you showed me in my Canvas. Somehow they ended my course schedule. Naoko, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Hi.
Yeah, can you hear me? Yes.
Yes.
I was just doing how you're doing in my Canvas course.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a video. It worked for sharing code, embed through HMT. But if I go to the cultural icon,
You mean this one?
it doesn't work. I can find my video, but yes. I can share my screen if you allow me.
Okay. Can we do
but
this
I don't know,
for...
you have time.
Yeah, can we do this for the very end? Or if we don't have time today, I'll be happy to schedule a separate one-on-one with you and go over that.
Okay.
Okay.
And it just didn't work the way you explained. So.
Okay, I'm happy to take a look. And while we are talking, I'm going to share our Canvas email as well. I'll share it at the end also. But since we are talking now here is it. And I'm sorry, probably I shared just with Victoria. Okay, here you go. If we don't get time today, you can totally email us and we will be happy to schedule a meeting with you to go over this. All right, so these are the different embedding options that we just discussed. Is there any other question or any confusion? Okay. All right, I'll take that as a positive. So now that we have seen some of the embed options, let me also quickly show you how in assignments you can do it. Although I said that it's the same thing, but let me just give you a glimpse. So I am in the assignments area. If I go to the plus assignment button, you see, as I mentioned, the same rich text editor box opens up and with the same 3 options. As I mentioned, it works exactly the same way. So if you have a video quiz, you can integrate it here. If you have a content that students might need to be able to answer the assignment or take this assignment, you can integrate your videos as part of the assignments as well. Same thing applies to discussion. Same thing, go to plus discussion button, and again, the same rich text editor box opens up with the same kind of options. So wherever you see the rich text editor box, you have all the embed options that we just discussed. Now, we are at 11:42. I don't have much more time, but I have one very important thing to show you. Probably briefly, I want to keep some time for the questions at the end, which is the last part of my discussion, is how to edit your Kaltura video. Please remember that this is not going to be a full-fledged video editing software. You will not get all the options that you get probably in a Final Cut Pro or Adobe, but it gives you enough options to get your video ready for your class. To do that, all I did was clicked on the title of the video, go down to actions. Now, if you remember, again, towards the beginning of our session, we discussed that we will come back to this, which is launch editor. Once we launch the editor, it launches the editor box, which is the window that you saw for the video quizzes as well. Pretty much looks the same, but with some additional options. This is your preview window. You can play the video from here. This is your timeline. Sorry. This is where all the editing happens. Now, you see there's a yellow sort of an outline bar here. If you drag this, you can select how much or from where you want to start and stop. This is your first thing. Very basic, but might be very helpful. So say at the very beginning, I don't want the first part. So I can select and drag this and bring it to the point from where I want to start the video. I can do the same for the end part. I can select where I want to stop this. Then I can go and click on the timeline. This will bring my bar at that place. When you take the bar to a certain place, you will see you have three options. The Caesar option gives you the split. Then there's the opening bracket, which is basically the set in time, and then the set out time. Say there is a part in between, which I don't need. It's redundant. I can do a split. Then I can go to the second point from where I actually want to start the video, and I can do a set in from here. Split, set in. Now the blank part in between, don't need to worry about that. The moment you save the video, it will automatically clip these two separate clips now and make it turn into one video. So now I have deleted something in between. I have created two separate clips, and the moment I save it, it will delete the part in between and clip them both together. I can also use set out time. Again, it works in the same way like this little, drag drop bar works, but only it's a little more, I would say, specific. So I can select set out here, and it chooses the exact timeline I wanted, specific, very narrowed down to the last second. So these are, as I said, very basic, minimal options, but enough for, quickly editing your video for your section. Now, there are two options on top, save and save a copy. I always choose save a copy because just in case if I need something from the original, at least I have the copy saved. Once you save it, it takes a default name by adding clip off, totally changeable. You can give it a different name and you can simply create. It takes a little time based on how long your video is. But once you refresh, go back to your My Media account, now you see I have clip of this video. So this is my original. This is the quiz I created with this little icon. And this is my clip for the edited version of the video. One last thing I want to mention, that at AU, your Zoom account is also integrated with Kaltura, meaning when you choose to record your Zoom meetings in cloud option. The reason I'm emphasizing this is because there are two options of recording your meetings, cloud and computer. I always recommend choosing cloud because it doesn't take your computer physical space. And also, very importantly, the cloud recording also saves in your Kaltura account. That's an automatic integration. So if I scroll down a little bit, you see this was one of my Zoom recordings, which is automatically uploaded into Kaltura. Why we need this? Because the Zoom recording in itself has an expiration date of 30 days. So the Zoom recording will automatically expire in 30 days, but the Kaltura one remains forever. It doesn't have an expiration date. So just in case, if you need a Zoom recording after 30 days, you can still come to your Kaltura account, find that recording, and share it with your class. That's all I have. Let me quickly take a look. Thanks, Victoria. We are almost done. Not almost, we are done. But if you have questions, feel free to ask me. I take that as no questions. And thank you everyone for joining this session. I have shared the Canvas email one more time in the chat. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Victoria.
I'll end the session right now.